Camp Rogers, November the 2nd, 1992. I stepped out of Brian Trainor's pickup truck at 0500 hours on a cold, dark November morning. Nervous anticipation hung in the air like static electricity. I hoisted my 2 duffel bags from the bed of his truck in a thick fog that hung ghost-like in the air above us. Brian walked around the truck to say goodbye. "Good luck, Jimmy," he said, putting his hand on my shoulder. His sentiment was neither encouraging nor congratulatory. Brian's demeanor was somber and serious, neighboring on sympathetic. I sensed pity in his eyes. This is because he understood precisely the adventure upon which I was embarking. Brian was my college classmate, and he had only recently earned the coveted black and gold Ranger tab. The experience was still fresh in his mind. Scar tissue had yet to heal. He knew exactly what I was about to experience, and to be honest, I thought I knew how the next few months would go myself. I was certain that this would be the toughest military training I'd ever participated in, and no doubt I'd be pushed to my mental and physical limits. But I was fit and strong. In fact, I knew that I was among the top 1% physically. Also, several friends had told me what to expect and how to prepare. I just have to steel myself against the extreme hunger and sleep deprivation. Though there would certainly be a few surprises along the way, I felt confident that I knew how it would go. I had no idea. The day prior, I had driven from my apartment in Fort Rucker, Alabama, to Fort Benning, Georgia, where I spent the night with Brian in his quarters. That night, he'd draped a trash bag around me and shaved my head bald. We were up and eating breakfast, my final meal, at 0400 hours. Now here I stood with day 0 of Ranger School about to begin. To be honest, it was somewhat surreal. I grew up the son of a mill worker from North Georgia. All I ever debated in high school was which shift I'd work. The mill was a foregone conclusion. Then an Army recruiter knocked on our raggedy screen door and asked, "Son, how'd you like to join the Army?" My father was drafted for the Korean War. He served his service obligation, then returned to Calhoun, Georgia, and hung that Eisenhower jacket in the closet. Corporal Blackman. When the recruiter asked me if I wanted to join the Army, I saw myself in that uniform, a soldier. That was February 1986. I went to basic training that summer and then advanced individual training. I then used a Montgomery GI Bill to help with college. I attended North Georgia College, one of the 4 senior military colleges at that time, where I served as commander of the Corps of Cadets during my senior year.
These Americans fight a complex war that began on 9/11 and is still being waged today. Given unprecedented access, our National Geographic Channel film crew heads into combat with a special ops team and witnesses firsthand the true cost of war.
An American Special Forces chopper departs the U.S. Air Base in Kandahar, southern Afghanistan. On board is a National Geographic Channel film crew. We've traveled the world, but have never covered an active war zone until now. Our destination? A remote Green Beret outpost located in territory still largely under Taliban control. Getting access to the Special Forces camp has taken us more than a year. The Pentagon normally limits media embeds with Green Berets to 48 hours. We will be given 10 days and hope to capture an intimate portrait of what it's like to live, fight, and survive in a special ops outpost on the front lines. What no one aboard realizes is that our embed will be cut short, brought to an abrupt end on a distant Afghan ridge.
As we headed out to the fire base in the Special Forces chopper, none of us could imagine that we ourselves would become part of the story before the trip was over. But the way events unfolded, everything changed.
After 2 hours, our home for the coming days finally comes into view. This is Firebase Cobra. Surrounded by thick mud walls and barbed wire, this modern-day Fort Apache is manned by a handful of American Green Berets. Afghanistan is about 1.5 times larger than Iraq. 100 miles north of Kandahar lie Uruzgan Province, Firebase Cobra, and our small team of Green Berets. Their job? To pacify over 100 villages in a remote river valley about the size of Rhode Island.
Hey, this Firebase area is Firebase Cobra, South Central Afghanistan. If you like getting shot at, it's a fine place to be. If you don't, it's not a fun place to be.
Cobra's Green Berets have been here 2 months, with 6 more to go. Many are on their second and third tours here.
We've been up here 2 months and been in 11 gunfights and killed almost 200 people. Taliban. Not people, just Taliban.
Find over there if you can. Tie it up. Use, I think we got 60-13 rounds.
At 40, Cobra's lead sergeant Sam is the oldest guy here. Like all the Green Berets depicted in this film, we cannot disclose his real name.
My job up here is to get my guys home in one piece and still do my job out here.
You've done a pretty good job protecting